Hey, this is Steve here at Mortly, and this is a quick overview of how I use Mortly on a daily basis. So here I'll start off by creating a new person here. We'll say John Doe, and we can change his name. Let's fix that. And let's say he is a California purchase, and he's looking to buy at 300 and let's say 25,000, and he's going to put 10% down. I can change my closing dates. The first payment date will update for you automatically, and I can also change that if I need to. I want this person here to get mortgage insurance as well, since it's only 10% down. So if I click here on this link, this is powered by MGIC, it can fetch rates, and these are actually live rates from their website. Put in a property tax rate and a homeowner's insurance rate as well. I can change my fees later in settings. I'll show you this in a second. Change the appraisal fee. Let's knock this down a little bit. Title fees also can be managed from your settings as well. And your account will come with some defaults, but this will at least get you going, and we can change it later. Prorations, you can change these as well. It defaults on a purchase to 3 months of taxes and 14 months of insurance, and daily interest is calculated for you as well. And then finally, you get a funds at closing number. Now, there's some cool stuff you can do now. You can duplicate this. So let's say you wanted a 15 and a 30 year. So now you can do that. Let's lower this 15-year rate. And then also you can select these and you can create a comparison. Now, why would this be useful? So let's say, for example, you want to throw this in an email. You just want to show in the body of the email itself all the details of this, these two scenarios. And I can click here and show interest, by the way, as well. So if I click this copy or email-friendly version, it's now a copy to my keyboard. And what I want to do next is put this into an email. So I'll put in a, the name, subject, of course, and hit paste on my keyboard. And there goes your scenario in a nice, easy to read format. Your client isn't having to open anything. So I think it really helps just kind of keep things simplified. And really for the customer that wants to compare options, super easy. Just send them this. It'll explain everything. Now, let's say they want a breakdown. If they'd like a breakdown of how these fees are calculated, you also have a fee worksheet button here. If I click this, it opens up a fees worksheet. There you go. And it pretty much itemizes everything for them so they know how all these numbers went into the calculations. You also have calculators at your disposal. Calculators are cool, so you can, if they have a customer who's considering paying points, and let's say for this 15-year example, it's going to drop the rate a quarter, and this just defaults to a little lower than the rate that you have currently on the scenario. This will show them the break-even period. It'll show them if they roll in the points into the new loan, what happens, and what if they reinvest the payment savings into the new loan. They break even after 5.1 years, and they save $22.27 after 10 years. There's also an amortization calculator, so you can show the effect of extra principal payments. Paying $50 a month will pay the loan off 6 months early and save $2,600 in interest on a 15-year loan at 3.375. So really cool things that you can just have at your disposal. I use it often when I have a client on the phone and they're just curious on some of these numbers, and I find it very, very helpful. Now, title fees and bank fees can be changed inside of your settings. So if you go here to your lender fees for California, I can change this to a flat fee of maybe $1,000. Or you can maybe change this to 1% plus 500. And let's update our fees. And now our fees are updated. So if I go back into the scenario that I just made, and let's make a new one for California, notice how the bank fees are automatically pulled from your settings. Now, we don't really change this per file, but you can change this. Like, let's say, for example, you want to give the client a 1 point back as a credit. You can say -1 here, and it will automatically subtract from your fees to show you what your net bank fees are. I find this really helpful. Let's say, for example, if you have a deal like here where all your loans are $1,500, if you want to charge every customer instead $995, you know exactly how much margin you need to have for that particular customer to give that client enough credits back for that. So as well for title fees, if you go here to your title fees, you can change your defaults for that. Now, if you ever get stuck, you can always start over. You hit this button here, and you can delete all your fees or reset your fees to the defaults. And I keep my defaults for every state on the server, so you always have that as a backup. Now, each individual fee can be named anything. You can change how it's calculated. And if you are in a state like Texas, there is also some special predefined fees where I actually will calculate the lender's title insurance and the owner's title insurance, including discounts for lenders, for you automatically. So haven't gotten that to every other state yet, just Texas, but that should be coming soon. As well, if you use Close, which is a CRM, you can integrate with Close and import contacts directly into Mortly. You can change your scenario defaults as well. And here on licensing, you can change your company name, the address, your NMLS ID, that's my NMLS ID, and add different states. Now, every time you add a state or remove a state, it'll automatically bring in the fees for that state, which you can later change. And that is Mortly. You can add contact information here as well, just making sure I didn't miss anything. So you can have, basically scenarios for different states. If I want to have another scenario for Texas, I can. There you see there's a Texas little label there for you. And then you can create comparisons as well. There's no limit to how many you can add into this comparison. And you can move these around if you want to reorder them. But that is Mortly. Mortly should help you generate estimates and quotes for clients quickly, help you save this information for later. So let's say you go and create another client. We'll say Sally Sellers, and you work you do some scenarios for them as well. You can always come back to John and revisit some of these numbers. And you can change these numbers very quickly. Let's say he wants to put 5% down instead. We can refetch mortgage insurance rates. See, that alone saves me so much time. And then if they actually request fee worksheets, I can click this and draw them up. So hope that kind of summarizes all of the uses of Mortly. It's just basically a really fast way to generate mortgage quotes and comparisons, and also to have calculators and useful tools that will help you convert a loan. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me directly at steve@mortly.com, or use this chat button to, this is me talking to myself, use the chat button to chat with me as well. Hope you have a great day. Thanks.